There's something fascinating about success that most people never notice. It does not come from grand decisions, but from the small things we repeat every single day, even when no one is watching, even when no one praises us. You might not be the strongest or the smartest, but if you can make yourself do the right thing every day, then one day, that very discipline will take you to places others only dream about. And today, you will hear the story of Daniel, a man who lived most of his life in procrastination until he discovered the power of daily discipline, the very thing that transformed his entire life. Daniel lived in a quiet little town where every day looked the same. He had big dreams to learn a new skill, to change jobs, to live a better life. But all of that stopped at just wanting. Every morning, Daniel woke up full of plans, but by night, he would comfort himself, saying, "It's okay, I will start for real tomorrow." And so, tomorrow kept repeating again and again until he could no longer remember the last time he actually finished something. Daniel was not a bad person, nor was he lazier than anyone else. He was just missing one thing: discipline. The thing that keeps us moving forward, even when the excitement is gone. But life always finds its own way to wake up those who are asleep. And for Daniel, that wake-up call was coming soon. One Monday morning, Daniel walked into his company with his usual smile. But inside, he felt uneasy. For the past month, he had missed deadlines, abandoned projects halfway, and today was the performance review. When his boss entered the room, the air felt heavy. After a few short remarks, the boss looked straight at him and said, "You have potential, Daniel, but you are not consistent. And if you do not change, that potential means nothing." Those words hit Daniel like a cold knife. He froze. He was not angry. He did not argue because deep down, he knew his boss was right. That night, he sat alone in his small room, the lamp casting a dim light on his tired face. He flipped through his notebook, filled with unfinished plans. Start learning English, go jogging every morning, finish this book. All of them stopped at the first line. In that moment, Daniel realized no one had ruined his future. He had done it himself, every time he chose tomorrow. The next morning, Daniel went out for a walk, his mind still heavy. The air was cool, the park still damp with morning dew, and most runners had already gone. Only one elderly man remained small in stature, doing his usual exercises. What caught Daniel's attention was that the old man kept training even as light rain began to fall. Daniel hesitated, then walked closer and asked, "Aren't you afraid of catching a cold, sir? It's raining. Maybe you should rest." The old man turned to him with a gentle smile and said, "If I rest today, tomorrow I will have another reason to rest, and then I may never start again." That sentence echoed in Daniel's mind like a beam of light. Not because it was philosophical, but because it was real simple, yet deeply true. On his way home, Daniel looked around. Street vendors were already up before dawn, sanitation workers patiently sweeping the streets, morning joggers still moving steadily. None of them were famous, but they all had something he had lost long ago: discipline. That night, Daniel could not sleep. He sat by the window, staring at the blurry sky, and thought, maybe I don't have to change everything. I just need to start with one small thing and do it every day. From that night on, Daniel began a new journey, one without any grand opening or cheering crowd. He quietly set his alarm 30 minutes earlier and made a promise to himself. Just do better than yesterday, even if it's just a little. On the first day, he woke up 10 minutes late. On the second day, he exercised for 15 minutes. On the third day, he wanted to give up. But then he remembered the old man's words, "If you rest today, tomorrow you will have another reason to rest." So he stood up and began again, not perfectly, but without quitting. The first week passed, then the first month. Gradually, Daniel realized something. True change does not come from inspiration, it comes from discipline. Not from moments of strong motivation, but from those times when you are tired, bored, yet still choose to keep going. One morning, while jogging, Daniel stopped for a moment, took a deep breath, and watched the sun rise in the distance. That light did not just brighten the sky, it illuminated something inside his heart. Discipline is not a punishment, he thought. It's proof that I still believe in my own dreams. In that moment, Daniel understood. He did not need to change the world. He just needed to win against himself, a little more each day. A year went by. Daniel was now a completely different man. He was no longer the person who kept saying tomorrow, but the one who started today even when tired, even when busy, even when no one noticed. Every morning, he woke up early while the city was still asleep. He worked out, read books, and wrote down small thoughts in his old notebook. Nothing miraculous happened overnight, but day by day, he could feel it. He was moving forward, slowly but surely. One afternoon, Daniel met his former boss again. The man looked at him and smiled softly. "You really have changed, Daniel. Now I understand potential means nothing without discipline." Daniel smiled back and said quietly, "There's no secret, sir. I just stopped breaking promises to myself." Then he looked toward the sunset golden light stretching across the streets. In that moment, he felt what true freedom really was. Not doing everything you want, but being strong enough to do what you need every single day. As I tell Daniel's story, I realize we have all been like him at some point in our lives. We have dreams, we have plans, but we get trapped in endless tomorrows. But if Daniel has taught me one thing, it's that change does not happen on one grand day. It happens on the ordinary ones, when we still choose to move forward, even when no one sees it. Maybe today, you are standing where Daniel once stood, searching for motivation, feeling tired, wanting to start over. If that's you, then start small. One action, one promise, one step, and repeat it every day. If this story touched your heart, leave me a small sign to let me know you're still here. A like, a comment, or share this video to inspire someone out there. And if you want to keep walking this journey with me, don't forget to subscribe so that every week we can share another story together and remind each other that greatness always begins with the smallest things.